And prior to the game, we see NBA Commissioner David Stern presenting the team with their championship rings and the raising of the championship banner. Happy Halloween here on opening day. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Are you as ready as we are? It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad you could join us. And tipping off the NBA season, State Farm presents our starting lineups. First for the Mavericks, Collison is out there with Beaubois. And filling in at the center position, the 7-footer with the silky touch and the master of the fadeaway jump shot, Dirk Nowitzki. And it's LeBron James, and it's Wright in at the 4 spot. And for Cleveland, Irving and Waiters in the back. And in at center, out of the University of North Carolina, a skilled and mobile 7-footer, Tyler Zeller. Then it's Paul George, and it's Thompson in at the 4 slot.
Hello YouTube, this is a Sim Basketball Operator bringing you an NBA 2K13 Association commentary. And in this game we are going against the Dallas Mavericks in the first game of the new season, the third season in this association. So officially it's the 2014-15 season. And one thing I noticed is that they have a really nice presentation of where the Cavaliers get their rings, even though we have a couple newcomers in the crowd. And we're missing some of our pieces from last year. Still, I feel like we have an improved team and we can go for a repeat and dominate this league and build a dynasty. So, also if you notice about the Dallas Mavericks team is that they have LeBron James, and this is like Mark Cuban's dream situation where they didn't sign a marquee free agent in the first offseason, just like in real life, and then they have enough cap space to run at another guy like LeBron James. But in reality, I do not see LeBron leaving the Miami Heat, so who could the Dallas Mavericks add? Personally, I'm not sure how many people would want to go there. They don't have a lot of pieces. Right now, they have too much offense with Jose Calderon and Monte Ellis at the guard spots. They have Sean Marion, who's really aging, and they have Dirk Nowitzki at power forward. So there's a lot of age and then not a lot of defense, and it's not really an area where you can just add your superstar and that's a championship contender. No, this team needs a lot of work, and I think personally they should go into the rebuilding progress. I think Dirk's era is done. I don't think they're going to make any progress in the much improved West, and they might even be at the bottom of the division because the Rockets, Grizzlies, and the Rockets and the Pelicans improved. And then the Grizzlies and Spurs are probably still going to make the playoffs. So they're the odd team out here. So please leave in the comments what you think of the Dallas Mavericks. What do you think they should do? Should they go into a tank mode? Because Mark Cuban is not the kind of guy, and he's the kind of guy that's willing to spend money for people who are probably not even worth it. Now moving on to my second topic, and that is 2K14 Association. Now I haven't pre-ordered the game yet, but I plan to get it when it comes out. And so I'm kind of thinking to myself, which team would I want to rebuild? It's not going to be the Cavaliers, and it's not going to be a team in that division. It is also not going to be the New Orleans Pelicans, because A, I already used them in my career, and B, I already decided that I was going to not use them because they're a much improved team with Tyreek Evans and Drew Holiday. Now I'm looking at another division, and I kind of narrow down some choices. I don't want to do something like this year where I kind of steal an association from someone else, because I can't remember whether It's Pronto started his association with the Cavaliers or I did. So, and then there were a whole bunch of other Cavaliers associations. And I was flipping through the 2K13 associations, and I'm kind of narrowing down my topics. The Sixers are probably going to be a really favorable choice because they got Nerlens Noel, Michael Carter-Williams, and they're a team that's going to be crap and in very good position to get Andrew Wiggins. Same thing with the Suns. They've got Bledsoe. They've got Alex Len. So they're also in a good position there. And then I know that straight out of Boston's probably going to take his Celtics. Just looking at the big names here. Sorry if I miss you. Lumberjack, I really don't have any idea. And I also do not want to do the Magic, since I'll be just repeating what he did. Because if you can remember way back then, he did a 2K12 association with the Cavaliers. I'm not just going to follow him. So that doesn't leave a lot of options. One option I was thinking is taking like a mid-tier team like the Mavericks, or like the Toronto Raptors, a team that's barely in playoff contention. It's likely nothing more than a first-round exit. And also a team that could really use some change and a new star and a different identity. So this is just food for thought. Also in the comments you could leave what you think the association team should be in 2K14, and which team you think would be fun to rebuild. Also, if you're another commentator, I know a lot of people don't watch my videos, but you should still try to say, if you're picking a team, how to make that decision so you can kind of divide which teams are being rebuilding, because associations become a much popular game mode. So at the end of one half, the Cavaliers are leading the Mavericks 63-50, and I'll see you after the break.
Now, presented by Sprint.
The spookiest day of the year, Halloween. It's really not that scary. Not during the 2K Sports Halftime Report, anyway. The Nets out in Brooklyn will go up against the Pistons. That one an all-Eastern Conference affair. Start time, 7 o'clock Eastern. And one game also on the docket. It'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Bulls in Chicago. Tip-off is at 7 Eastern. And now, a look at the other NBA action. Out in Oklahoma City, it'll be the Thunder against the Grizzlies. That one tips off at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that'll be all for this episode. It's in the books. I'm all done reading. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the second half.
Alright, so after covering my first two topics, I'm just going to get into the gameplay. Recently, I haven't been really broadcasting any live commentary or play-by-play commentaries because I kind of want to discuss NBA topics. But we're right now in that kind of dead zone of the NBA, and so I'm just going to do some play-by-play. Nice job by Kyrie Irving demonstrating the ball movement. It has really improved as our core begins to grow together. Paul George has added a nice pull-up jumper, something I'm going to try a little bit more this year as he expands his abilities as a creator. Kyrie Irving's the same old finisher he was. Nice finish around Dirk. And then here's Dion Waiters, again running a play for Chauncey Billups, who gets wide open at the free throw line and knocks down the jumper. So we haven't been able to slam the door on the Mavericks quite yet, but then again, they're not closing the gap. Missed by Paul George right there. Darren Collison's going to push the tempo, give it to Rodrigo Bois, but no, not in this house. Great block by Paul George. And just the combination of offense and defense this game is tremendous. And then here's Paul George crossing over. Oh! Just leaping above the Mavericks. Crossing over Brandon Wright. Huge mismatch. And look at the vertical. 40.4 inches. Massive dunk. And just great to see in this first game. Nice block by Paul George again. Now we're pushing it. Waiters is going to kick it over to Billups. I thought he was closer. He's going to shoot the three and bang, he knocks it down. That was really deep, at least like 5 feet behind the line. LeBron takes it in to close the gap to 22. But we went on a little run at the end of the third to give us a nice lead of 92-70. So we have turned it up on offense. Our defense is holding them back, but our offense is moving so quickly that the Mavericks are just getting a lot of opportunities to score. Also, the tempo is slightly faster in NBA 2K13, so the other teams usually get a lot of shots. Here's Shane Battier. Terrible release leads to a run out by none other than King James, who's going to elevate and do that signature dunk that he always does. Head at the rim, this time in a Mavericks uniform, which really looks like the Eastern Conference All-Stars uniform, as I noticed here. But it's a nice set of alternate jerseys. I like them a lot. Now, with a 96-78 lead, here's Varejao getting on the vertical action, kind of. I mean, he's really old at this point. Playing some nice defense against Dirk, one of the Mavericks who had a pretty good time scoring, but this leads to Ben McLemore mid-range, and it's 102-84. A couple minutes later, look at McLemore spinning and then windmill reversing on that play. Just a tremendous show of athleticism. Maybe he'll be doing stuff for the Kings this year and just set the identity for this new young team. Now we're running a new play I kind of like. The floppy high over. Nice play. George open in the corner and he's going to knock that down. Now we're looking at Darren Collison feeding it to Dirk. Great defense by Tristan Thompson. No real move there from Dirk, which is surprising. Run out here. Ben McLemore to Paul George. Just perfect basketball and something you just don't see a lot of in this league. But this game was easy. Passes were smooth and crisp. Defense was always there, rotating, and it's just perfect. Look at that move by Kyrie Irving, just tossing him in the laundry machine, spinning around. So we win this game pretty easily, 129 to 112. Good game from pretty much everybody. The Mavericks were just overmatched here and kind of just showed their weaknesses as a team. They don't have a great interior defense, and their perimeter shooting was pretty bad. They didn't give Dirk a lot of open looks outside. So the player of the game in this one is Kyrie Irving. I probably would have given it to Paul George, but that's just 2K. Kyrie is usually our MVP. LeBron had 26, 4, and 4 on 50% shooting. Dirk had 22. Bobois had 18. And Wright had 12 and 14. On our side, George had 27, 5, and 2 steals, 2 blocks. Irving with 27 and 9, and a whole bunch of other contributors along the way. Another stat I noticed is that I took a lot more threes in this game. But look at the Mavericks. They are 1 of 11, hit 1 3. I think it was Bobois. And we just really suffocated them on the perimeter. 7 of 20 is pretty nice. 35% shooting. And I'm trying to get more shots up to increase the offensive production. So yes, this is a Sim Basketball Operator. Please answer kind of my 2 questions. What do you think the Mavericks should do this season? Should they blow it up? Should they vie for a playoff spot, make them more attractive to free agents? And then any ideas for 2K14 Association? Which team should I rebuild? So this is the Sim Basketball Operator, and I'll see you guys in the next video.